welcome back to Coffee with the Community. We are here today with JoAnn Key. Her and her husband Doyle run a ministry called Casseroles of Hope. And so we just want to hear a little bit about what you're doing, JoAnn. How did you get started with this?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate being here today. My husband and I have been involved with feeding the needy for a number of years. We used to go to Incarnation Church in Centerville, and they're involved. All of the Catholic churches in Montgomery County are involved with St. Vincent Hotel in downtown Dayton, and they're all asked to make casseroles. So I've been doing a casserole a couple times a year with them for over 25 years.
Okay.
Okay, so in early 2000s, we started going to St. Mary Church in Franklin. Okay,
Yep.
and
Kids were baptized there.
I'm sorry.
My kids were baptized there.
Okay, beautiful church, right?
It's so pretty.
Yes. So through the years, we were asked to help out with a free meal that they did every Wednesday night, affectionately called the Wednesday dinner. And
Okay.
it was open to the public, just free, no questions asked. So they asked us to take that over, and we did that for 6 to 7 years. And then we were also asked to be co-chairs for the capital campaign to move the church from Franklin to Springboro.
Yeah.
Well, once you do that, you've left the needy. Okay. They're not going to travel from
Right.
that area
You're
to
right.
Springboro.
You're right.
So my husband and I transitioned that into a box lunch meal where St. Mary still does the box lunches. People go there and help and assemble them and drop them off, and they're distributed to the community. So we're still connected there, but he and I had stepped away from that to let other people kind of take over and do their thing, give somebody else a chance. And so it was kind of nagging at us. You know, had been doing this, and how do we want to do it? And so I just said one day, I want to reach out and see if we can start a casserole ministry south of town, because there's a knowledge that what St. Vincent de Paul does in the Dayton area and the Cincinnati area kind of leaves a void sort of in Warren County. Okay.
Mhm.
So we wanted to just bring people together, community together, to kind of do this, and it be not a burden on anybody to step up and join in.
Yeah.
So we started in our own neighborhood. When we were doing those free meals in Franklin, anything that was left over, we brought to Hope House Mission in Middletown.
Okay.
And those are homeless shelters in Middletown. Okay.
Yes.
There's one for women and children and a separate one for the men. So I called and said, this is what we're hoping to do. Can you use the casseroles? And of course, I got a yes.
Yeah.
So we started in Soraya Farms, which is where we live. And
Okay.
I just asked to put something in the newsletter, and we put stuff in the mailboxes, and the response was immediate. So
Yeah.
we had enough people to feed both shelters once a month for the whole year.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So
Gives me a little bit
wonderful.
of chills, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, thank you. It's a wonderful thing. But I kept calling back to Hope House and saying, okay, we can add another day, we can add another day. And we knew just from being out there and doing this that at the end of the month is when you struggle for money the most. So I said, let's try and help you at the end of your month, and this is what we'll do. And we got to 6 days a month, and we were still getting volunteers.
Yeah.
So again, I reached out, and so we added Family Promise of Warren County. They use us when they do not have someone providing meals for the week. And so when we do Family Promise, we do a whole week at a time. When we do Hope House in Middletown, it's 2 meals delivered in one day. So it's just so they can use it whenever they need it, either that day or throughout the week. So a little bit just different dynamic there. And we stopped at 6 days a month at Hope House because we didn't want to interfere with their other volunteers. We don't ever want somebody to turn somebody away because they don't need them, because they really do need them. It's just not right at this moment.
Yeah.
So that's why we started branching out. Well, as I said, we started in Soraya Farm, and that was nine people in the first day kind of thing where we were delivering that first day. We now have 300 volunteers from 26 different cities. So
Oh, I love that.
I do too. Our furthest point is Tip City. Somebody works
Yeah, it's Heather.
down in Dayton.
It's Heather who works for
Oh,
me. Heather
I
who
didn't
works,
know that.
yes, it's Heather who works with me, and so our office is in like right by like by Austin Landing a little bit, and I live in Springboro, but she lived in Centerville when she started working for me, and now she's married and they live in Tip City, but she started making casseroles for you, I think, before she moved, so she's still making casseroles, so that's why.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, and we just ask people to tell their neighbors, tell their family,
Yeah.
post it on Facebook. We have one gal named Melanie, and we affectionately refer to all of her people that she sent to us as Melanie's Army, because I think we got up into the 30s by the time that
Yeah.
they kept talking about it, which is great. And it's a wonderful thing. We just ask people to prep and freeze a casserole 4 times a year so that you're browning meat and mixing everything together. And then we ask you to put foil on it, put your name on it, and put what is actually inside, because people aren't realizing that when we deliver, it's frozen, so they may not use it that day. They need to make sure that all of the same casseroles are what they're freezing, what they're thawing at the same time.
So
So
Heather said you have specific recipes, so it's not just like any old like I'm going to make you my lasagna, right? It's
correct.
yes. Okay.
So
Tell us how that works.
we have 6 different recipes, and we try and make them different enough so that in Family Promises instance, if they're using them all in the same week, it's, different pasta, potato, whatever,
Yeah.
and on different days. So we have a ham and hash browns. We have lasagna, but we do it with bow tie pasta so they can stretch it further.
Yeah.
Um, we have a cheeseburger macaroni, a rotini pizza casserole, a chicken and rice, and a taco pie. And it's amazing to me who tells us what as to who likes which one the most. We did the cheeseburger macaroni because I thought children, I knew that the beef is a staple that they always lean on and what they're going to eat. And
Yeah.
we had the children that were coming to our meal and they always liked that. But it's the grown men in the shelter at Hope House that wait for the cheeseburger macaroni. My husband does the deliveries. So
Okay.
people deliver to our home here in Soraya in Clear Creek Township.
Okay.
And we leave coolers out between 8 a.m. and noon on the day that people are due.
Okay.
But there are people that work different shifts or have a conflict, so they can always reach out to us and deliver earlier than that. So I don't always know the people face to face, but we try and meet everyone since
Yeah.
there's so many.
Yeah.
But they will deliver their casseroles, and then my husband delivers to the shelters or to churches who are serving meals. That, as we've expanded, there's a church in Lebanon, church in Waynesville, and church in Middletown that provide a free meal like we used to in Franklin. And so we're providing the casseroles for them, and then they can do the sides. And it takes the burden off of the small churches that are trying to do that. So we do that monthly. And so depending on where he's going, he's all over the place.
I love that. So super easy for the people who are volunteering. 4 times a year is really not that often to make a casserole. Sounds like you
I
make it
agree.
really easy to just drop it off at your house so you don't have to, it's not logistically difficult, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we did take your casserole to work day. So we have Berkshire Hathaway, one of their offices does it, and one of my neighbors actually works there, so they want to pick them up. But Doyle will pick up. He picks up at M&M Title. So different businesses that have joined in and want to do that. The whole idea was they shouldn't need to store them, because if they just take it to work in the morning and he comes right when they're open, it's just a handoff and we take care of the rest.
I love that.
So we've got churches that do it. We have Centerville Community Church. We have Post-Town Church of God down in, I always say the wrong city, down in Monroe. We have Springboro United Church of Christ. All of these people have drop off. St. George's and Kettering. They will deliver at church or at work, and then whatever agreed upon date Doyle will pick up then. And so then we.
Awesome. So if somebody wanted to help, what would they do? How would they sign up?
They go to casserolesofhope.org. Our whole history is there, and where all the cities that everybody is from. And you can just contact us through that, and an email come to me. And then I will reach out to you, make sure that you understand that you're delivering to our home and where it is. And then I schedule your 4 dates. I give you your recipe, and you're ready to go.
That's
so
amazing.
I even send a reminder 1 week before you're due so that we're still on the same page. And then if anything has come up and somebody needs to deliver a week before, they can do that.
What I love about this is that that you can do it anytime. You put it in the freezer, right? You freeze it so that it's
Yes.
ready to go. So it's not like you have to do it the night before before you deliver it even. I mean, you've made it so easy, anytime during that, week or so, you could probably just do it and throw it in the freezer and have it just be ready to go. So I love this idea. It's a super great idea. And I
Well,
love
thank you.
your heart around it. I mean, look what you've done from, you taking what you did at the church and you've just created this entire. So how many families do you think you're helping? Do you know?
We serve 12,000 meals a year
Oh
right
my,
now. So depending on families, it's hard to go with how many
yeah,
families because
yeah,
a lot of them might be singles or, one
right.
parent and however many child. So it's hard for me to do, but I can just tell you it's 12,000 meals a year because everyone's they're serving, one casserole is serving 10 people.
Got
Okay.
it.
So whether that's 10 men is not necessarily the case. We know how food
Yeah.
stretches and that sort of thing, but that's how we go with it. And they're able to plan using those numbers as well. So.
That's amazing. What are your goals for the future? What are you looking to do? And who do you need to help you? Like what can our community do to help you?
Well, we just kind of, as more and more people come on board, we just reach out to the community at large and look for people who are actually doing this sort of thing, actually serving.
Yeah.
So
Who
we
needs
will do as much as we can to help. We had, there's a ministry called Under the Bridge, um, Bridge the Gap. I'm sorry. It's called Bridge the Gap. And they are under the bridges in Cincinnati. And
uh,
so this organization raises money and they go ahead and bring the food down to the bridge. So they reached out to us and said, we were at the community church in Lebanon serving and we're using your casseroles. So my heart dropped because I thought 400 people a day, that's a lot to just, she said, no, I just want your recipes. She said, can I have the recipes so that we can actually go with warm meals that, because they were doing sandwiches
mhm.
and, just trying to make it easier for them, which is understood. So she said, if we can do the casseroles, it actually will bring a warm meal. And so we
What
were
a gift.
delighted that,
Yeah.
yes, that we could expand that way. But, as more and more people come on board, we're able to find those small areas where people are actually doing this, and we're enabling them to do it more days. So sometimes the churches are already out there doing it once a month, once a week, twice a week. But if we're going to provide casseroles, then they can add it another day or so in the week. And we get wonderful notes. We got one from a mother of a child at Family Promise who had not eaten for a week because the child was traumatized just because they had lost their home and they were temporarily in shelter and waiting for their new home. And, the kid, he was just unhappy. And she said, rotini pizza for whatever reason spoke to him and we got him to eat and he was happy. And so she thanked us. And so I try and share that in our emails, but I don't always get stories like that I can
Yeah.
pass along because we don't meet the end user, which is
Right.
fine,
Right.
but the people that are actually using the casseroles are so thankful because
Um,
they're able to do more because we're all pitching in. So
yeah. So
that's kind of the whole
what
point.
are your growth thoughts?
We don't have any end in sight. We'll take it as far as it's going to go. We've had people ask us if we'll go speak in other cities, go to Columbus, so they might be able to do a Casserole of Hope group there. we're open to that. We will help anybody go ahead and set it up if they want to go ahead and do it, and we'll take it as far as we're able to. We used to just have people deliver, and we delivered to the shelter that same day. Obviously, we've grown so much. We now have 4 chest freezers in our unfinished portion of our lower level. So we're not sure how many more that will we can
Right.
take, but we will do whatever we need to do in order to make it work. So
I love that. Okay, so casserolesofhope.org.
yes,
And then tell me your 3 words that you would use to describe your ministry.
help the needy.
Yeah.
We just, they're not always people who are poor. There's sometimes people who just need to be eating a meal with someone else because they're alone. So some of these church meals that they're providing, someone's getting camaraderie from that. So to me, it's just help the needy. So we're able to bring the people who have the means to the people that have the need just by everybody coming together. So I think that's helpful.
The grassroots of it is just amazing to me about what you can accomplish if you just, have a goal and just ask people to help. People want to help. We've found that so much, and people, we do a lot of things in the community and people want to help.
Yes.
They just need a way to help. Tell me how to do it and I'll do it. And so that's what you've come up with, such an easy plan. So go to casserolesofhope.org, sign up to make some casseroles. Heather will keep bringing you casseroles. I'm sure I'll start bringing you casseroles.
Well,
Um,
thank you. And
yeah,
just and so not everybody's able to, or they're doing other things if they just tell people about it. So
yeah,
someone else goes to the website. We have people a lot of people, it takes 6 months before they get to us because they're involved in other things and they wait. That's fine. But
yeah.
the more people talk about it, the better it gets. So,
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today, JoAnn. I really appreciate it, and we will definitely spread the word.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Yep.
it.
All right. Have a good one.